So warm welcome to all of you. Today we are going to learn about the objectives of business research. The major objectives of business research includes to explore about unknown, to describe the features of a phenomena, to explain a phenomena, to predict future activities, to influence activities, and all these things will come under the major objectives of a business research. So we will try to learn one after one what are the major objectives of a business research. So when you come for the first one, to explore about unknown. As we know that when it is a business research always will starts with the broad problem identification and ends with a solution or a decision making related to the particular problem area. So that's the reason why a business research, it is a journey from the known problem area to an unknown solution for a particular problem area. So unless what we need to do is repeatedly we need to conduct a research in that particular area, right? So as we know, we are suffering a lot related to a pandemic which is being introduced, takes place in the month of December 2019, coronavirus, right? Now, as of now, nearly 140 plus countries rigorously they are working to introduce a best vaccine or to introduce a best medicine to that particular pandemic. So that's the reason why, and always a research will move in such direction to identify an unknown phenomena related to the particular problem area, right? To describe the features. The next one we call it as to describe the features, right? So if something was happened, like, so as we know, the research will start with the broad problem identification, right? Now, what we can able to do with this to describe the features, in fact, it is a descriptive research design. The descriptive research design will tell us about what was happened, when was happened, where was happened, how it was happened, who is the culprit behind that. By posing all these questions in a specific area, what we can able to do is we can come up with a best possible a decision to related to the particular problem area. So by posing all this a variety of questions, we can able to extract the valid features of the particular problem concern. So that's the reason why a business research will facilitate to describe the features of a phenomena which is not known to us. Suppose an accident was happened in within the organization, right? Well, that is what the problem area. Now we need to extract the valid features of the particular incident, right? When it was happened, where it was happened, how it was happened, and who is the culprit behind happening of the particular incident. By posing all these list of questions, what we can able to do is we can come up with a valid features of the particular phenomena. So that is what we call it as to describe the features or to explain about a phenomenon. Even a descriptive research which speaks about to explain about a phenomena. So as and when a problem come across, as we know, we will try to conduct a research in such a manner. In all times, we are digging deep and deep. What are the reasons behind happening of that particular incident, and what are the reasons behind happening of that particular activity? We are trying to dig out what are the causes or the reasons behind happening of that particular incidents in between the organization. Suppose if you can able to see the employee dissatisfaction, right? A research will be conducted in such direction to explain about that phenomena or to extract the valid features of that phenomena or to know clearly about that particular problem area, right? So what are the causes behind employee dissatisfaction? What are the reasons behind employee dissatisfaction? And what makes them to feel a more dissatisfaction in that particular situation, right? So when you pose all these questions to a particular problem area, then ultimately we can come up with a best possible solution. So that is what we call it as the concept of to explain about a phenomenon, and even to predict the future activities also. As we know that the research is a predictive analytics. The predictive analytics will tell you about what, right? We are trying to estimate in advance what would be the expected level of changes in future. What would be the expected level of changes in future? So that is what we call it as the concept of predictive analytics. So here also the same thing will be applicable to predict future activities. So as when the problem come across, what we are trying to do is, with the help of descriptive research design and exploratory research design, we are trying to identify what are the valid reasons for happening of that particular incident, for happening of that particular activity, right? So based on an intensive or a rigorous research related to that particular area, even we can able to estimate what would be the expected level of changes in future. Even we can able to estimate what would be the expected level of changes in future. So that's how the research will facilitate us not only to come up with a best possible solution to that particular area, even we can come up with what are the possible, what are the expected level of changes that will happen in future, and all those things also that we can able to estimate in advance related to this business research, right? And even with the help of this business research, by conducting an intensive or a rigorous, having an intensive and rigorous concentration in a particular area, right? We can able to influence what are the various activities which are happening in a particular context that we can able to do with the help of this business research. So all these are the basic objectives of business research. As the name itself it indicates, research. Research speaks about such again and again, such again and again, unless when we come up with a best possible solution to a particular area, continuously, rigorously, we need to conduct a research in that particular area. And to describe the features, even with the help of a descriptive statistics, with the help of GUI, graphical user interface, with the help of various kinds of charts, like pie chart and line chart, bar chart, and dot chart, and scatter plot chart, and a nested bar chart, nested pie chart, area chart, right? With the help of various different types of charts, even we can able to describe the features of a particular phenomena, even after collection of data related to the particular incident, and even we can explain a phenomena related to the particular area. So all these things will come under the basic objectives of a business research. Now we'll discuss. So as we discussed earlier, what are the various types of business research? And now I'm going up for the next concept. That's what we call a role of business research in managerial decision. As we know that a business research will facilitate in such a manner for coming up with a best possible decision making in a particular area, right? As we know, the research will start with a broad problem identification and ends with a best decision making. So what is the role of business research in managerial decisions? Means the first and foremost thing, decision making tool. So the business research will be helpful for taking an effective decision in the area of any domain. So obviously we need to take up a best decision making irrespective of the disciplines. Like we have to take a decision making in engineering, we need to take up a decision making in the technology, psychology, sociology, philosophy, commerce, arts. There are numerous areas will come into the picture. In all numerous areas, the problem is common. The encountering a problem is common. So what we need to do is we need to come up with the best possible decision making. And the next one, the management planning. As we know that a planning, deciding in advance what should be done in the future, right? Guessing in advance what would be the expected level of changes in future. and having an idea in advance what should be done in the future. So that is what we call it as the concept of planning. What this business research will facilitate for the managerial decisions, in the sense as the business research, it is a systematic process. So even it will facilitate to plan in advance in a systematic manner how to drive a particular problem in the organization to come up with a best possible decision making, as the managers should have a best plan of action in advance, what should be done in the future, and they should be able to gauge in advance, they should be able to estimate in advance what would be the expected level of changes in future with respect to marketing, with respect to production, with respect to finance, with respect to systems, and with respect to any area. The managers should have a clear-cut idea about in advance related to planning. And as we know that a business research, it is in fact it is related to the problem solving. So as we know that a research will start with a broad problem identity. So that is what we call it as the concept of problem solving. Now, control technique. So this is the important aspect in business research. Say in business research, it starts with a problem area. A research will start with a problem area. There are two things will come into the picture. The first one, controlled environment and uncontrolled environment. Controlled environment in the sense we can control the problem area, and we can drive the phenomena, we can drive the situation, and whatever we expected in such dimension, we can able to drive the phenomena. So that is what we called a controlled technique. Suppose the employee absenteeism in within the organization. So that is what the problem area. When more employee absenteeism is happening, and the attrition level would gradually decrease. So it will be a very big threat to the organization in future course of action with respect to production and with respect to suppose employee absenteeism. As employee absenteeism increases, it creates so many problems with respect to production and marketing, as we know, right? Now, whether it is this kind of problem, the employee absenteeism, is it a controlled or uncontrolled variable? Yes, it is obviously a controlled variable. So how can it is a controlled variable? Try to identify what are the reasons behind employee absenteeism. Try to come up with the best possible solution related to the particular problem area. Right? When you identify the reasons behind employee absenteeism, when you can able to provide what the employees are expecting, right? What are the employees' aspirations? What are the employee requirements? As and when you can if you can able to provide the requirements of employees, then automatically you can control the employee absenteeism. You can control the employee absenteeism, right? The same likewise, the employee job satisfaction. When more employees are dissatisfied related to the current situation, so automatically the attrition rate will gradually decrease. Now identify what employees are expecting, what are the employees' aspirations, and due to what reasons they are leaving from the organization. Try to have a very clear idea, and when you can able to provide all those things to the employees, then automatically we can able to minimize the low attrition level in the organization. So that's what we call the control techniques. You can able to control the situation with the help of control measure techniques. The same likewise, in some situations there are certain category of the problems which are uncontrollable also. So a business research includes two different kinds of variables. That's what we call the controlled variables and uncontrolled variables. The controlled variables are having in our control, which we can able to control the situation, and we can able to come up with the best possible solution. But whereas the uncontrolled variables, which are not in our control, it's very tough to control that particular phenomena related to the particular problem area. And even the next one, suitable marketing operations. When you come for the suitable marketing operations, this business research, especially the marketing research, will facilitate a lot to understand the customer requirements, to understand the customer satisfaction, consumer behavior, consumer attitude, customer relationship management. So in all aspects, what we need to do is we need to conduct an intensive and rigorous research, and we need to come up with the best possible decision making to maintain a better customer satisfaction. To maintain a best customer satisfaction. So unless otherwise, when we do not come up with a best decision making related to the customer satisfaction, or automatically the sales of the company will gradually decrease. When the sales of the company gradually decreases and the production also gradually decrease, and ultimately the profitability of the company also gradually decrease. So to maintain a higher profitability rate of the company, what we need to do is we need to come up with an intensive and rigorous research in the area of customer relationship management, or customer satisfaction, and the customer attitude measurement, and in all such areas we need to conduct an intensive rigorous research. So that's the reason why a business research, specifically with respect to the external environment in marketing, it will be more helpful for estimating the customer requirements and the customer understandings. And when we go for the next one, helps to discharge managerial functions. Yeah, as we learn, it helps a lot to discharge the managerial functions. In all levels of the management, there are so many functions will come into the picture. HR segment, marketing segment, finance segment, production segment, and systems segment. In all such segments, there are various categories of managers will come into the picture. Each and every manager should be in a position to take up a best possible decision making. So this intensive rigorous research with respect to the business decision making will help a lot to come up with a best possible decision making. So that's how a business research will facilitate to take up a best decision making with respect to the managerial functions also. And the next one, even the business research will facilitate in production, right, with respect to the quality control aspects, the quantity management, quality management, and the cost controlling techniques, and the plant layout, machinery installation, the plant erection, the schedule plan, day schedule, a night schedule, and general schedule. So when it is a production department, it is having, it includes a very big process from the point of getting of raw material to in various stages, how that raw material is being converted into a finished product, right? A production which includes a big process, right? Even in production department, we can able to use a research to control with respect to the quality aspects and to minimize the wastage of raw material, and the optimum decision making with respect to the labor management, and an optimum decision making with respect to the plant erection and plant establishment, and the machinery establishments, and so various types of plant layout operations with respect to the product layout, and functional layouts, and fixed position layouts. So when these many things will come into the picture with respect to the production department, so in all aspects, a business research plays a very crucial role. So that's the reason why research, it is a holistic in nature. It never belongs to a specific department. Research is a common evident in all departments. It starts with HR, finance, marketing, production, systems. Even it goes beyond to the engineering and technology enabled psychology, sociology, physiology, and whatnot. It belongs to the all area, right? So that's the reason why a business research, it is a holistic in nature. So that is what we call it as the role of business research in managerial decision. I hope you understand this session. Thank you.